How to decide what kind of lighting to use in each room. First, a good idea is to take the square footage of the room so we know how many lumens, or if you're doing a fan, how big of a fan that you're going to get, or if you're going to use a downrod. It makes a difference if you have an 8-foot ceiling compared to a 9, 10, and up. Once we know the square footage and know the height of the ceiling, then I can do a little calculation to see how many lumens you need, and then we decide if we're doing decorative or if it's in a kitchen and maybe you need more lighting. We just go on to a product that's going to have more lumens. To know what size fixture you need for the space, we're going to find out if it's a dining room, see what size table you have, if it's a round table, if it's a linear table, also your ceiling height and room size, and then we just go from there. Probably the most common mistake people make is not taking into consideration ceiling height. Also, like bathroom lights, we have a lot of issues with, because you can have a light that has a long bar in the back, which a lot of them around here do, and so the wiring behind it isn't in the center or centered with the sink, and so you couldn't use a small back, you'd have to use a long back. And I even come across this in new construction. So that's one of the first things I tell customers if they're doing something in the bathroom. Find out if that's centered, because you order in a fixture that you like and then you're not able to use it. The services I provide are, I do lighting layouts for you. I will do all the investigating of lights for you. I usually pick up pretty easily on somebody's genre that they like, and I can narrow it down to 4 or 5 lights per room. We find you exactly what we want, and if it's in the wrong price range, at least if I know what you like, I can go to a different price range in other catalogs. I just try to make it just very easy for my customers, and they seem to really like working with it. The layouts, I go out, or I get the floor plans, and I'll tell you where you need lights. We'll do layered lighting in a kitchen, so like under cabinet, light above, like islands, and then your recessed, or a lot of times we do like an LED puck for that area. So I can go through your whole plans and put in what you need. What made me decide to open Unique Lighting and Home Decor is I started out as a hairdresser. I did that for 20 years, and I was missing a creative part of me with other things I was doing. I worked for a few years at another lighting store, and I really, really liked it, and I loved the design part of it, and I just knew that I could help a lot of people with their lighting. I get a pleasure out of seeing the end result and seeing my customer excited. I think sometimes they'll come in and they'll be like, oh, now I got to pick out lights, and it feels like a burden. And when I see that I'm able to take that burden and they leave here with huge smiles, that's what I'm basically working for. I enjoy that. The difference between me and a big box store is definitely the customer service. I go out on the jobs all the time. Look, even if it's just a one light fixture in a living room or a dining room, the customer has no idea what to do, and they'll say, "Can you please come and look?" I go and look, and I find them what works perfect. So the personal part of it definitely is the biggest part. And there is a difference in some of the quality of lights between what I get and a big box store that get them in mass-produced quantities. So I think that's probably a pretty big part of it too. So living in Montana really, a lot of times, has a lot to do with the type of fixtures people pick out. We have obviously cabins and rustic all over the place, and so that's a big part. And for a long time, it was rustic with animals. Now it's more rustic meets turn of the century lighting. People like to go back. They're wanting to do like corrugated fixtures that we can get, and we also do a lot of traditional homes uptown, which crystal and restoration, and a lot of those are in the Historical Society. I think locally owned, you get such a personal experience. It's one-on-one. I care about the customers. I care about their budget. I want them to have what they love. They are going to live in these homes, and I've always said to my customer, I never want you to go in and look at a light and continually say, I hate that light. So even if something doesn't work, I'm here to bring it back and find you something else, because it's very important to me that you love your lights. My showroom hours are 9 to 2, Monday through Friday. I do come in by appointment after 2, and on Saturdays, I go out in the afternoon and look at jobs, look at the remodels, or look at the house, or no else. Give me a call or text. My number is 406-782-4476. It is a cell phone, so I have it with me all the time. Leave a message. If I don't answer, I will get back to you. My email is klg_unique, unique, at msn.com. You can request an appointment on my website, which is buttelighting.com.